My name is Bella Hutton, and I live in Alloway and go to Alloway Township School. My school is currently doing students in person 4 days a week, half days, with everyone virtual on Wednesday. Starting in 2 weeks, all students will return 5 days a week, half days. But that being said, 100% remote is still an option, and that is what I am currently doing.
My name is Destiny. Currently, right now, some students are doing hybrid, so it's in-person learning and also virtual learning, and some students are just doing like full virtual learning.
I live in Woodstown Piles Grove and I go to Woodstown Middle School. And right now my school is using a hybrid model. So cohort A goes on Mondays and Tuesdays. We're all virtual on Wednesdays, and Thursday and Friday. Cohort B, that's when we go on Thursdays and Fridays. And I'm currently in the hybrid model, so I go on Thursdays and Fridays.
The hardest part of adjusting to this was the lack of personal connection to my friends and teachers. School has never been hard for me, so academically, I've been very successful. But the hardest part was not being in the building with my teachers and friends. Honestly, I really love going to school. So missing out on all of the normal things we were supposed to do, like eating lunch with my friends, doing group projects, and just sitting on the floor doing math problems is really hard for me. So overall, I really just missed the normalness of school.
I think the hardest adjustment for me was balancing my in-home responsibilities with my school responsibilities. So at home, I have to take care of my little sister to help out with my mom and like just normal home stuff, and balancing my school responsibilities with learning on the computer and stuff. So
I think the hardest thing for me this year was that I can't interact with anybody outside of my house. It's hard to just like interact with people online. And I think that being in person is a lot better than having to learn virtually. So I do enjoy the fact that we can go for at least 2 days a week. And I think that another hard thing is that it's hard to like connect with my friends or my teachers like through a meeting. So I think the most positive thing that's come from this year is I think that I've been a lot more responsible and organized when it comes to my assignments and homework. My school uses Google Classroom and Google Meets. So I prefer to do everything on my computer, and I feel like a lot more organized when it comes to completing everything on time and keeping track of everything that I have to do. And I think that after this experience, I'll have learned that it's better to be organized and get everything done first instead of procrastinating.
I think the most positive thing that came out of this experience for me was learning how to like do more tasks or like exploring new hobbies and stuff. So I recently became more intact in reading. I've read like a whole bunch of new books, cooking, like helping my mom or just watching her in general. Cause before like uh COVID, I couldn't do that because I was so like with school and stuff. So now since I'm home more, I'm able to like watch her do stuff, and like it's a learning experience.
Overall, I've had a very positive experience with remote learning. Since I'm only in class until 12:15, it gives me the chance to structure my day how I like it. For example, when I would typically be riding the bus to school, I can get started on work that has been posted or reviewing for a test or quiz. Another positive thing is it's taught me the importance of time management. For example, the school has always provided agendas for all of the students, but I have never consistently used one to organize my day until now. This year is the first year that I've consistently used a planner to keep track of my day and my work. A third and final positive is my teachers are now holding office hours at the end of the day, so I'm able to meet with them and ask specific questions that I couldn't before.
I think that my classmates are handling this probably similar to how I'm handling it. I think that we could all probably agree that being online is difficult and it's something new, like a new challenge that we've had to face for sure. Um, I think it was hard to transfer into online learning completely last year and then transfer back to hybrid. But the way that my school set it up has really helped us with like going back and forth. Even if someone's 100% virtual, everybody's included. But I think this is challenging for everyone at my school just because we've never dealt with something like this before. and it's challenging when it comes to like school and homework and time management.
I think my classmates are handling this much differently than me because on virtual learning, some haven't even showed up to class completely, or some don't even answer questions, or don't even they don't even attend classes and stuff. Uh, they don't go to the support times or none of that, and I think that's like a huge impact, or this has had taken a huge impact on them.
I think that some of my classmates are having a harder time since their parents are at work and can't help them get on the Zoom sometimes. I have noticed that now a lot of them are in person. They do miss actually doing hybrid learning. The kids that tended to have internet issues do prefer to be in person. And I think that everyone is really just handling it differently based on what technology they have available to them.
A teacher that has made an impact on me during this is my teacher, Miss Montgomery. Even before joining her classroom for the 8th grade, she's always been there for me, whether it was like a personal problem or whether it was something about school. She always like was there to help me and stuff. And she definitely helped me out during this whole virtual learning process because it was hard for me at first. But thanks to her, I managed to keep my grades up and stuff.
All the teachers that I met in my years in middle school have been great. They've been generous and caring and great at presenting the content and teaching us. But this year, one teacher that stood out to me is my teacher, Mrs. Kelly. She teaches ELA and she makes the lessons like fun and interactive. And I specifically enjoy her class because of how she teaches us. And she's like really patient. Although all my teachers have done a good job with how they share things with us, and I've really enjoyed how they've handled the online learning aspect.
I have an amazing group of middle school teachers, and it was really hard to just pick a few to talk about. Um, but my science teacher, Miss Reinert, is probably one of the most amazing teachers I have. She's always coming up with engaging and fun things for us to do, such as we wrote a children's book to explain the history of the cells, and we did Star Wars Punnett squares. She teaches us through songs and interactive experiments like dissecting frogs and learning the elements of the periodic table. And most importantly, she has taught us that learning anything can be fun, specifically during the remote times. So my math teacher, Mrs. Katz, has been working very hard to make this work for everyone. She has an extra practice call every day at 1:30 that anybody can get on and ask about anything we've done, and she goes over anything. And she even moved the time today so that I would have plenty of time to get ready for this.
Okay, so some things that the high school teachers should know about me is that no matter what like issues and stuff that I may be going through, that I'll still persevere them and I'll still go hard at all of them. And that I should be sit up in the front because that's where I'm most attentive to. Like that's where I can pay attention the most. Because sitting in the back for me just doesn't work.
I want my high school teachers to know that I am going to ask a lot of questions because that's how I learn best. I want them to know that I will always give my best effort when it comes to work, and I need to know that my teachers are going to be there to support and encourage me. And I want them to know that we need them to create a learning environment where we can be comfortable making mistakes and taking risks when it comes to learning. And this reminds me of my math teacher who will review any question, even if she has reviewed the same type 1,000 times, and nobody is ever embarrassed to ask a question because she praises us for asking for help.
I would want my high school teachers to know that I prefer learning with interactive lessons and stuff that we can actually do together as a class. And I would prefer using not online learning, but using sources online than on paper because it's just so much easier for me to keep track of. And I would want them to know that they should create an environment for us that's like supportive and where we can ask questions and we can be ourselves and nobody's afraid to speak up about something, but I don't think there will be a problem with that in my school.
My goals for the future are to take honors classes in high school. I also want to make sure that I balance schoolwork, extracurricular activities, and having fun with my friends. I want to run for a position in the student government and participate in other activities. For the future, right now, I think I want to go to medical school and become a type of doctor that works directly with patients.
One of my future goals is definitely to just attend college because none of my like family members have never been able to achieve that goal because they've all either have became pregnant at a young age or just got caught up in like bad situations. So that's definitely something that I want to achieve to make like all my parents and grandparents proud of me.
One of my future goals is that I want to go to high school and I want to graduate with honors and with A's and B's, hopefully. And then after that, I want to go to college and I want to explore education there. And I either want to join the military or become a doctor and help people in the field of medical stuff and with science and discover new things and hopefully help other people who need it.